Okay. All right. All right, guys, this is an FSD 13.2.1 video. In the comments, you guys asked that my wife sit in the driver's seat instead. So she's going to be there in full control. She can give her kind of feedback all the way. To start, I have us kind of at a dead end here. You may have seen it in one of my videos, but the car's going to have to do some sort of a 3-point turn to get away. So I'll let you start the drive.
There's also the
basketball net. There's a lot going on here.
This makes me nervous. Okay.
Okay. This feels good, right?
Yeah, there's enough of a gap.
And that's enough space. It's hard. Like, I'm sitting over here so I can tell, like, this side a lot better. What would you do right now as a human to get out of this?
Pull back into their driveway and then forward that way.
I feel like FSD won't use a driveway ever. Like, I don't even know if it would go on the curb to do this, and we'll see.
Oh, that's a pretty confident backup.
Yeah, I like that it's not too slow. Yeah, see, I feel like we just go to the curb and we never go
I guess that makes sense, though.
Yeah,
you shouldn't go into strangers'
or onto the place where there could be, like, pedestrians and stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Good?
Yeah, I like that. That was
good.
I don't know. I get really, like, starting from 0 makes me nervous. Oh,
you feel more comfortable, like, when you would press the button?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I guess because backing up is new and everything. But why are we hugging this side so much? Like, look at the...
I think just by default, it's going to, like, favor the right. Like, you think we're close to those cars?
It feels close, yeah.
Yeah. I rarely sit in the passenger seat, so I know the feeling you're talking about, but sitting here, I can see that we have tons of space.
Yeah.
And the thing I think that's hard is, like, you have to trust the car has, like, very good spatial awareness.
Yeah.
The last thing, like, above anything else, this car doesn't want to come into contact with anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to run into a car. Mm-hmm. But it will favor sitting over there because that's the spot that we should be. Speed, everything?
Yeah, it's 40. We're going 38. Feels good. Like, it's rainy and kind of wet out, so it's about the speed that I would go and want to go. The stop signs are a bit long there, but I don't know if it's seeing things that we can't see, so it sits back, right? Like, is that the case?
I think the issue with a lot of times with the stop signs is, like, the stop line is really far back.
Yeah.
So then it's going to have to creep to get going. And as a human, I bet if you sat there, 90% of humans would go over the stop line.
Well, that's the thing. It's like what actually is the rules of the road versus what humans do.
Yeah. Like, humans, I think, break the law all the time in favor of what feels more natural.
Is this weird that I've never done it from being in park?
That was your first time?
Yeah, so it feels very, like, extra futuristic.
Okay, that's cool.
Because it's very much like
I'm being
fully driven. Yeah, it's not like I'm en route and then I hit the button and I just kind of, like, take my foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Like, to not have your foot on.
Like, you could effectively do this whole drive without ever touching the wheel or...
Yeah. Very much like getting in an Uber and just off you go, so...
Or a Waymo.
Or a Waymo, yeah. But you don't sit in the driver's seat in a... which I guess with an Uber, too. But.
I mean, that's the eventual goal here, right?
Yeah.
Is to have you be able to sit here or back there.
Yeah.
And have, like, you'd call this car to come get you. But we're ways away from that because the car still does make occasional mistakes, but that's...
On designated routes, though, I can see it happening, or, like, exactly like Waymo. Like, if it knows exactly where it's going and it has all of the external factors other than other humans taken care of, I don't see why it couldn't, like... If you drove the same route every day, wouldn't that be more likely that could be a fully, like, autonomous drive? Like, is that what's going to come out first, basically, would be my thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they've never said. They're just, like, in talks of, like, which locations are going to do it. Because I think Austin's the first one that's, like, semi-committing or talking about doing it. But I think...
This braking, by the way, is good. Yeah. I feel like sometimes brakes too close, and that actually felt really good.
Yeah, we're slowing down.
That's exactly how I would have braked to this, and leaving like a quite nice of a gap, because again, it is rainy and more slippery.
It's interesting how it varies from drive to drive, which I find.
Yeah,
and
like that was really nice.
Case to case. Like sometimes I feel like the car, even on our last drive when we were on the highway, it came up fast after the highway.
Yes.
And then braked quite aggressively.
Yeah.
Whereas here, exactly like you said, we started slowing down so far in advance. That gives you such confidence too that the car's going to stop.
And that's what I like. You get that little glimpse of, because ultimately everything's not perfect. Like mistakes can be made, so it's nice to just be like, okay, it is slowing down.
Yeah. Yeah, you have context that the cues that the car is doing the right thing ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And would you say, what profile do you drive in usually?
Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you ever tried the other ones really?
No.
Yeah.
I'd be too nervous. Like I really don't like following people close.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even need to click the windshield button.
You don't? Like the only thing that could happen is, definitely a pain point is the auto wipers. But I've seen videos where the auto wipers won't go off, and then this camera will get so blocked that you'll get the red hands.
Oh.
Because
there we go.
the cameras don't see anything because the auto wipers aren't clearing them. I think in the future versions, like they've talked about like fixes for handling camera occlusions. Like I think that will all get better with time. But yeah, technically you don't need to see. This screen could be blacked out other than if the cameras could see.
No, I just mean like from like a fully autonomous drive.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
this could be like a big movie theater screen.
Yeah, like I don't need to click on a button there.
No. Yeah, ideally try not to touch
I would like to slow down more here.
Oh, really? Because we're going with them.
I know. I'm just, again, that's just my feedback with that.
For sure. No, it's good to have your feedback. It is just funny.
Otherwise, a smooth merge.
Yeah, really good there. Yeah, and you know the difference between regen and real braking when you're looking at that, right?
Yeah, so when it's going down, it's actually using.
And if it's a different color, it's real brake.
Yeah.
So you can kind of look at that. That's a big thing I do is I like, if the car is using regen braking for all of its braking, I'm definitely a lot happier because I'm like, what you're doing is efficient. Whereas if it's coming in and then uses real brake, it's like, well, that's silly of you.
Is there any like conspiracy talk around braking harder to you have to go and get your brakes done?
I don't think so, because if Tesla was the only place that you could get your brakes done, maybe someone could kind of like spin some crazy narrative that that's the case, but you can get your brakes done at Costco. You can get your brakes done anywhere. So Tesla stands nothing to gain. And honestly, that's not where they're making their money. And the more they make their vehicles seem attractive and less of a like maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance free.
Maintenance free.
They could then just jack up the price because
it's like
if you actually look at the math of like how much people are spending on maintenance, you could be like, yeah, our cars are more expensive, but it's because you have savings of like $5,000 plus a year.
Exactly. Like your brake pads last this long. This. Like our only maintenance in this car
is windshield wiper fluid.
Which is low. So we have one.
Oh, can we get that at Costco? Can you buy windshield wiper fluid at Costco?
It's a good question. I've only ever bought it at a gas station.
We'll report back.
I've only ever bought it at a gas station.
And desperate for 4 times the price.
Well, because where else do you buy it at interesting. We'll see.
I think you can.
Yeah.
In their auto section.
Something I've gotten like, not like people have like talked to me about is like the drives are too simple sometimes. But at the end of the day, like these are useful drives. Like this is the drive. This is our drive to a grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not always going to go on, but I think it's what's like attractive to watch, right? We don't live in
downtown New York City.
No.
So as impressive as those videos are, this is our day-to-day. And even though it's simple, everybody else is doing it manually. So it's cool that the car is able to do it.
Yeah, there's definitely a big difference of like Vancouver, which has...
There's just more variables, right?
So this is somewhere...
Curious if you're going to say it. Go for it.
No, I was just waiting. That is a human driver. I go into the right lane.
I could pull up a clip of me saying exactly that.
and pull in front of all these people, which like
also
seems
like
it's
minor thing. Keep your hand like Just because think about them like watching the screen. Sorry, people.
Apologies. I'm new.
I don't mean to force you. I'm just like,
okay.
I watch like my clips and I'm like, if I put my hand in front of it, it looks.
It's okay. It's fine.
Bad.
It's fine.
Yeah, that lane goes quicker, right?
But it's not like, I think some people do that and are kind of assholes about it when they like are clearly cutting in, but it's more just there is really 3 lanes here.
Yeah,
it keeps the traffic flowing
after
more.
This light here, and you'll see it when we drive, but it goes, and then like about here, you have to merge back in. But to be honest, that's the exact situation that the car did in that video that just went pretty viral of mine. It took upcoming merge lane to be aggressive because it was in the hurry profile and put itself in a merge lane that was ending and then failed to merge.
Yeah, interesting point.
So to get 1 or 2 cars ahead for what ended up being a really unsafe situation, it's not really worth it. That's what we kind of keep talking about, where
you wanted to err on the side of caution,
especially in chill mode.
Yes, and not all these people are turning right, so they were in that lane.
Yeah, so we would have been an asshole to do that, but I've definitely done it as a manual driver.
Yeah.
And you would pop back in right here. How
busy the mall is, hey? Christmas shopping.
Also, the votes are in. Dark mode wins.
See, I was right.
You were definitely right.
I honestly think the contrast is really nice, like even from a...
For sure, from a visibility standpoint.
I think even like the road, like when I was looking at the light mode.
Oh, interesting. What do you not trust here?
I don't know. It was just a pretty confident little right turn there. So is this person going to cross, and are we going to wait for them?
I think we'll wait. Let's see. It's because he waved at the car.
It's because he waved at the car?
No, probably not.
Okay, that guy's turning.
Yeah.
Nice,
but
okay.
We're good. Okay. I feel like that was really good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So what would have happened if, sometimes someone's waiting to cross and you're sitting there and you're kind of like going like, no, you go. Uh-oh. Okay. Like where you have to almost prompt someone of like, okay, no, walk. Like would the car, if that person was standing static, would the car have gone?
Genuinely, I think we should test that.
With ourselves?
With ourselves.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
Because
I'd be curious.
The verdict's out. I've seen examples.
The verdict's out.
Isn't that the right saying?
It just sounds so like official. The verdict's out.
Well, okay, it's
like what's the verdict? Like 5 people?
Then the verdict's not out. The verdict's up for discussion. I'm an idiot. People are trying to figure out, because there's clips where, like this AI driver, JD, he was in a situation where a vehicle stopped, he was behind a vehicle, and then an oncoming vehicle stopped for him to go around, and that vehicle flashed its high beams, being like, hey, you can go.
Yeah.
As a human driver, you're like, hey, that's sweet, that's mine.
Yeah.
And in that same moment, this car took the initiative to go around. But is that because the car was stopped or because high beams were flashed? And then there's situations where there was a red light, a flashing red light, and there was a cop standing in the middle of the intersection, and he was waving people by, and the car went through a red light without stopping, with what basically fully seems like prompted off a hand signal. Because otherwise it has to stop at a red light.
Well, yeah, because there's so many like human cues, right, that people are picking up on that not necessarily like computer would know. But then also, what's stopping just like some homeless guy standing in the middle of the road, like waving his hands,
or standing on the side of the road going like this, and your car just slams on the brakes.
Exactly.
It's a fascinating system to like even begin to think about. Like I don't envy Tesla AI for like their job, because like there are a million micro decisions that get made on the road.
This guy's tailgating us because we're going 54 and a 60.
Yeah.
I have noticed actually with this new version is it airs slower. It's definitely, we're keeping it about like 5 kilometers less than the speed limit, which I feel like it should always be just hitting the speed limit exactly.
Yes. I think some of that might be due to your profile.
Oh, this is spicy.
See what happens here. I think it's going to wait for them.
Yeah.
That was really good. I mean, you have a driver doing a questionable maneuver.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's ultimately just saying car, like regardless of how the car got there.
Yeah, that car's like spun around.
Which was a weird,
intersection. Yeah, I think maybe being in chill might have something to do with it, but I think all profiles should go the speed limit at least.
Absolutely, yeah.
Unless the circumstances are bad with like weather and whatnot, but...
Yeah. Yeah, to go 5 under just seems interesting.
Because you're gonna, like how you had that guy riding you, like you're gonna have people upset.
Not happy with you.
Maybe standard, we can try it after if you want, would be like the mix of that, and we'll see if it hits the speed limit
It's
more.
really just the follow distance. That's what my gripe is. If you go, like, why is it that if I'm in more of a rush, I need to, like, essentially tailgate? In my opinion, people will say that probably.
Yeah.
Or, like, granny drivers and how much space we give. But you can still be driving aggressively without tailgating.
100%.
And I feel like the connection of chill and standard is not there yet, from what I've seen.
Yeah,
which is very little, and that's really what you've talked about.
My, like, ideal world is the follow distance is its own, like, thing separate of the speed profile.
Yeah.
So we could put this in the hurry speed profile, which would make moves to, like, move around in traffic and on the highway, but would always keep a follow distance, which we had set. We're here.
We are here.
What have you done?
Nothing.
Press the button?
Yes.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
It doesn't know where we want to go, so at any point you can intervene if you want, because I think it's going to go to the wrong building.
Yeah.
But
well, it's going to take us right
to the
here.
We didn't put in the address, so you can take over. So that was really good. That was the thing that's not done in version 13 is the park and unpark. Look, she didn't even slow down for speed bumps.
We're going like 15 kilometers an hour.
Or 19 and a 15.
I'm the problem.
Yeah. So the thing that's not in yet is the destination arrival parking. Had that been here, we could have, on a map, however they're going to do it, shown it exactly where we wanted to go.
Yeah, and been like, if there's a free parking spot in that area, basically.
So that's cool.
That'll be really interesting, because that will be very much like A to B.
Because I think even how you're...
Well, we actually could have put ourselves like back to home, and it probably would have driven around here then.
Yeah.
And we would just disengage once we got to the point of...
For sure, but I still think like how you complimented the fact that like pressing a button was so much different.
Yeah.
I think doing that with the finishing and it all being packaged up together.
Really...
Yeah. It
really,
already, really like futuristic.
For sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
Apparently I'm not supposed to say we'll be right back, but we're just finishing up this visit and then we will be right back.